Greetings, friends. I'm Reverend Kyra with Unity Bay Area, Houston, here to welcome you into these powerful times of transformation that we are in the midst of. As we came out of this last Resurrection Sunday, we open ourselves to the flow of spirit that is continuing to move in us. And as we awaken to the consciousness that is bringing us to live more fully right now, to live in the wholeness and the fullness of who and what we are, we also get to ask ourselves, what happens after the high of resurrection? Could there be more? Is there more? Well, of course there is. But we're going to talk about what happens after that high. After the high, if you had those experiences where you're on an amazing experience and you go into the highest levels of vibration and frequency that you've ever held, and they continue to escalate, and then suddenly after the whole activity and the event of that, then you come back into integration. And we're going to talk about what it means to move into that place after the high, when we begin to integrate the truth of our being and live from this awareness. We recognize that Jesus represented this in his path as he came through from the resurrection and began to show himself to those around him and began to open to the awareness that he was in a journey still, and he was integrating into this higher realm of consciousness that absolutely meant different things in different circumstances. So we'll look at some of those and how that applies to the consciousness for ourselves. As we raise the ante, as everything is moving into higher experiences right now, we get to say, what is it that happens in that journey, in the ups and the downs and the flow of it? We are in these powerful times, getting ready for an eclipse on Monday that is unprecedented. 200 years since that's happened, and we get to recognize there is something magnificent going on, and we get to integrate these experiences in the ways that we show up in our lives. We know there is nowhere we can be that we aren't at one with this infinite source that is sourcing us and bringing us into these higher realizations. And yet we're also living everyday life. And how do we bring those into balance? So we'll be sharing a lot of this Sunday at Unity Bay Area, Houston, and look forward to having you join us. We had a fabulous Easter experience, and we know every day is that Easter experience of resurrecting ourselves into higher consciousness and opening to that which is continuing to move us into magnificent ways of being, to realizations, to live in the wonder and the awe of it all. So I invite you to come join us. Find what's real inside of yourself in the midst of these experiences. And we're at 1911 Highway 3 South in League City, Texas. We'll have our Sunday celebration service at 10:30 a.m. as always, and hope you'll join us live. But if not, you can join us on Facebook or YouTube. Now, I do want to invite you, before we go, to our Friday night Beatleology concert and presentation by Reverend Fairy Diane Silver. She's coming to bring her light, her presence, her many, many years in both music and studying in spirituality to bring the spiritual message of the Beatles alive. And it's going to be fabulous. So I hope you'll join us this Friday. We're having a 6 p.m. potluck before the concert at 7 p.m. It's a suggested $20 offer, but we know no one is ever turned away, and we would love to have you come join us and share in the celebration of the spirituality of the Beatles, Beatleology, and with Reverend Fairy. So come and join us this Friday, 6 p.m. potluck, 7 p.m. concert, and Sunday at 10:30 a.m. In the meantime, be aware of all the ways the energies are integrating into you, and allow them their time and place to move through you and bring you into a sustained higher consciousness. God bless you, friends. So grateful you're in this journey with us. Have a blessed week.